All right, so we are
Uh,
live.
all right, thank you, Chris. All right, welcome everybody to our weekly community call, Yam.Finance. Your host here, Fedis, in charge of operations and treasury management. We'll be going over kind of what happened this week, what's going on for next week, things that we've got going on, and we do this on a weekly basis. Normally, it's at 7 p.m. UTC. Um, Unfortunately for some of the US and European folks, daylight savings has kind of caused a slight issue. So next week and moving forward, we're going to go to 5 p.m. UTC. If there's any, huge issues with this, let us know. We'll try to accommodate as much as possible. But there's for the most part, most of the team and that needs to be on the call. 5 p.m. kind of works out a little bit better. But again, if you guys have any suggestions or um, comments, feel free to let us know. Uh, Aside from that, just some housekeeping stuff. If you want to chat or you have a comment or question, just go it in the chat and just hit a +1 like this. And when I get a chance, I will definitely call on you. And then otherwise, if you could just kind of stay muted during the presentation, that would be perfect. As you can see, we started using a different system rather than just Google Docs. We've kind of migrated to this new platform called Notion. It's a great organizational tool for us. So you'll see kind of things like this moving forward. All right, so before we get started into the meat and potatoes of the governance call, I'd like to give a chance for anybody that's on the call that hasn't introduced themselves before. I noticed a bunch of new faces on the call that haven't been here before, and if you would like to, I'd be happy to have you introduce yourself. Just give a quick background, what got you interested into Yam, and what excites you about what we're doing. If anybody would like to uh, do the intro, please feel free to. You can just go ahead and unmute yourself and start if you like. Otherwise, we have time at the end of the call as well to do introductions. So, if anybody would like to do it now, please feel free to. Otherwise, we will make that request at the end of the call as well. All right, moving forward. So just quick housekeeping stuff. Governance, on-chain voting proposals. Right now, there's no governance snapshot votes, but in the future, if you do want to participate in snapshots, you do need to register your tokens in your wallet to make sure that they are visible for when we do snapshots. There are no on-chain proposals at the moment. There are some coming up with updates to the monthly contributor payments and the vesting stream for new contributors. You guys have probably seen a bunch of new faces on Discord, a bunch of new proposals for new contributors. We are rapidly expanding the team, and these contributors are a great value add to Yam.Finance, and we're doing big things. We're expanding quickly because there's just a need for it. There's a lot of things going on and a lot of unique projects that Yam is working on. Um, KPIs for Yam currently the treasury holdings. We're looking at it dropped today. As you probably have seen, the whole market has taken a little bit of a hit, but we're looking at around 7 million in total value in our treasury holdings. As you can see from this list, there's quite a few different holdings. USD reserves, which are the yielding urine vaults for USD, where it's a stable coin, but it also earns yield. We have DPI reserves. We also have ETH reserves. Sushi gains from our YAM ETH LP tokens that have been staked on Sushi Swap. We also are getting gains from DPI, DeFi Pulse Index, paired with ETH. We LP that to earn index tokens. There's actually right now we have 300,000 index value of index tokens in the treasury, but that's not including, we haven't harvested the most recent gains, which is I think another 200,000 in gains. So a lot of the assets that we have in the treasury, we are putting to use. We're kind of leaving no stone unturned in order to create additional value. And we've also got UMA voting tokens, UMA tokens. We've got about 500,000 in value there. Some of it is due to be distributed to users, so that's not all ours, but that's a good decent portion of it is. Yam DAO House, it's at about $1 million, which is actually doing pretty good because the market's taking an overall hit. So what Krugman's doing there with the risk management seems to be working. As far as even the market's gone down overall from when the Yam House DAO House started, the value hasn't moved much, so which is a good thing. Last but not least is the UGAS ETH collateral and UStonks USDC collateral. So as you know, we use the treasury to bootstrap a lot of our own products. So degenerative.finance, obviously, you know, we have the UGAS and the UStonks synthetics. We use our own treasury to bootstrap degenerate.finance, but also it helps us earn rewards. So it's a win-win for us. It's a win for UMA. And a lot of what we're developing and doing is very collaborative in nature, very win-win in nature. So it's you know it's a very cool space to be in where you can do that and you can grow at the same time you can help and help other protocols grow at the same time. The rest of the KPIs, we've grown in YAM holders, which is excellent. I think the recent fluctuations in the YAM price has created some new holders, which, hey, as long as it keeps growing, that's a good thing. Yam.finance Twitter followers has also grown by a small amount. Discord members have shrunk. I don't know why that is. Maybe that's because of bots or whatever, but we'll be working on growing that as well. As far as KPIs for degenerative.finance, Theo's not here. Jim, if you wanted to go into this, or I could also go into this.
Yeah, I was thinking you were gonna talk about it from maybe a higher level, and then I can go into it in more detail in the marketing section.
Okay, perfect. So the KPIs currently, degenerative.finance, we've got a total collateral locked TVL of about, let's see, about 7.5. I think it's higher now, but we're looking at about 8% of all UMA TVLs. There's an anonymous user, ETH kind of whale called OX underscore B1. That's what he's known as in the Ethereum community. He also came in and minted UGAS June, which was interesting because he deposited almost $1.2 million of ETH into the contracts. And he is very much known for kind of like finding some of the best values in DeFi and, you know, farming or getting rewards in it. And the fact that we got his attention, that's a win in my book. So the Synth market cap overall is, let's see, so when the total collateral locked, and then we've got the amount of synths that have been minted, it's about 2.5 million. The system GCR is very healthy, which means that there should not be or have not been any liquidations because of low GCRs. UStonks April and UGAS June are now on CoinGecko, so you can find those when you search for it. Any other KPIs as far as YAM KPIs or degenerative.finance KPIs? Any questions here from the crowd? All right, moving on. Indigo, so Indigo's been working on, oh, what happened? Was that my screen? Do you guys still see the screen, or is I've got an
No,
error
we don't
code?
yet. Looks like try and unshare your screen and share it again.
Okay, let me try that. That's interesting. I've never had that happen. Do you see it now?
Yeah, great, fixed.
Okay, perfect. So Indigo, as you guys know, we've been working on a V2 website, and it looks fantastic. And Indigo, do you have any updates on terms of the progress?
Hey yo, just working on routing stuff. Most of it's done. There's like small little issues that need to be worked out, but over the next few weeks we're gonna figure that out and then get it out for you guys. I'm really excited. It's really coming together. So yeah, it's good.
Oh, we lost it again. Yeah, thank you, Indigo. The V2 site looks fantastic, and we learned a lot from even this recent. Let me try to fix this while I talk. We learned a lot even from this recent UStonks and UGAS kind of rewards incentives for degenerative.finance, because there are a lot of people that came on and basically were new and they heard about the APY and they wanted to get involved, obviously. So there were some issues that they ran into because of the UI and interface, or just trying to understand. Some people were kind of afraid of being liquidated, this and that. So the new V2 UI, we've been able to learn from these mistakes or learn from these experiences and create a better, more finished, more fluid system that will alleviate some of these problems. As you know, degenerative synthetics in itself are very kind of not so easy to understand products. Putting collateral in, a collateral ratio, a global collateral ratio, a minimum collateral ratio, all these concepts that do take a bit of understanding in order for you to be comfortable with using it. So with the new interface, we definitely tried to focus on these things, and it's definitely in progress. So synthetics, new synthetics coming up, or the old ones, UStonks currently available. Just a reminder, limited edition NFT airdrop is going to be revealed soon. We are giving out 100 limited edition NFTs to the first 100 users. Okay, we're getting some.
Just a reminder, keep your everything on mute, guys.
Yeah, please. And if you're the first 100 users to use 10,000 USD to as collateral to mint UStonks and then LP for 21 days, you will receive one of those NFTs. I think there's still room because there's probably going to be a couple.
Проветривание.
Okay, we might have to kick you off if you keep that up. So yeah, so if there will probably be some slots left. So just hold on. If you were a little late to the game and you didn't start on day one, you can still be eligible. You can just wait as long as you LP a couple of days afterwards. All right. So right now there's still a 220% APR on minting and LPing. And the coolest thing about this is you're basically minting and LPing on USDC. So your price risk. I think we're getting Chris, if you can help me kind of remove these people, or if it's a problem. Okay, so 220% APR still. And again, the upgraded, the extra rewards end this coming Tuesday. So do get in, do mint. We still have rewards at the end. After the extra rewards, there's still the regular UMA incentives that are going on. I think those are probably currently at 30 to 40%, since the treasury is giving out 82% of the rewards. Normally the treasury will keep 50%. Because of what Theo has offered to everybody. Basically, the treasury is giving out 82% and keeping 18%. And currently discount on trading. So currently the index price is lower because the day some of the stocks have gone down, and it's a discount on trading. So the index price is 203 and it's a premium on trading. I could be saying that backwards. But the current price is 261. The index price is around $200. UGAS June, we also have the extended rewards till Tuesday. We're looking at 125% for minting and LPing, and there is a slight premium on trading. So right now it is worth the index price is around 0.14. It's trading at 0.154. UGAS March, 7 days left in the month before it expires. It's trading at a 5% discount. So if you buy it now and you wait 7 days and the index price doesn't change all that much in the next 7 days, you would earn 5 additional percent on your ETH that you invested. UGAS February 21 is you can settle now. Just approve the EMP and settle. Any questions on Synths? Sorry, I kind of went over that pretty quickly. All right. Moving on, YAM as a collateral. So we've got some new and interesting things that will be using YAM as a collateral for Synthetic. And they're actually very, very useful. At number one, locking value, so you can earn additional rewards. Number two, it's possible that these have some really, really great use cases for YAM, but also for Degenerative.finance. So we'll be introducing those to you as soon as we solidify them and make sure that that we can deploy them like we're thinking. So that ends this Degenerative.finance. Any questions, comments on Degenerative.finance? All right, very cool. DAO House. All right, exciting stuff at DAO House. As you guys have seen and heard, the Sushi House proposal is up and running, and feedback is great. We're looking to get the snapshot put up by the core sushi team, OX Maki, tomorrow, along with actually quite a few snapshots. They've got some really cool sushi itself has got some really cool things coming up in the snapshots tomorrow. So definitely keep an eye on. If you hold sushi, definitely go check it out, because it's I think from what they tell us, it's a very important number of proposals that are coming up. And then one of those is going to be Sushi House, which I foresee doesn't have any problems in getting approved. It's already been green lighted by the core team. The feedback on the forums have been fantastic. Basically, everybody is going with the highest amounts that the core team has kind of looked at. Right now, that would be 10 million in Sushi House. We ultimately want a third of the treasury, which is somewhere around 250 million. A third of that would be what, 60? No, that would be 75, somewhere around 180 million dollars. Ultimately, we want to build up Sushi House to that level, but we'll start with 10 and then show them how it works, get them familiar with it, comfortable, as well as onboard other DAOs, and then we can also increase that amount as we move forward. Let's see, Umbrella protocol update. Jim, did you have?
Real quick before we move
the
on,
marketing?
Before we move
Yeah,
on
go ahead.
to DAO House. So just as a reminder, part of that proposal for Sushi House is that basically our fee would be like 3% of that 10 million would be purchased as YAM and stored in the Sushi House, correct?
Yes. So the way that the proposal works is the way that fees work with Sushi House and DAO House in general, and this is to be determined. We're still kind of working out the kinks to it. This, in my opinion, would be a discounted fee because, number one, Sushi is kind of one of our core partners or core collaborators that we work with on a number of different things. Number two is that it's our first outside, our first client DAO House. So with that being said, we definitely want kind of a sweetheart deal for them. And this deal in particular, well, what we're asking for in return for building the Dow House out is 3% of the sushi house should be invested into Yam. So if Yam, if sushi, increases their allocation from 10 million to 20 million, we would ask, and they would be, agreeable. We would ask them to basically keep the same allocation of 3%, so that they would have to buy more Yam in the sushi house. And number two is, this is just the fee for building it out. It's a one-time fee. Of course, if they increase it, it should go up. But the other piece of this is Yam and Krugman as a portfolio manager. So currently, I think it's not 100% yes in the forums that they want Krugman as their portfolio manager. They have the choice of choosing their own, finding one on their own. But because of Krugman's history and his experience in running things on token sets, he's the number 2 trader in token sets before Yam House. Because of his experience, they want him to do it, which is awesome. And what's going to happen is Yam's going to, the portfolio manager position gets a streaming fee of 1% that goes to Yam, which we pay out part of it to Krugman. And that's a continual fee. So if the set grows in value, the fee percentage stays the same, but obviously the amount increases as the amount that gets invested increases. Any other questions? Good question, Chris. So definitely, if you look at this and extrapolate further, number one, 3% of $10 million is only $300,000. Not a huge, significant amount, but not bad considering that Yam's market cap is only 550 million. But if you extrapolate it out, number one is, if Sushi House decides to up it to 50 million in sushi, or in the size of Sushi House, you're looking at 1.5 million, which is now 3% of Yam. Or if we find other clients, which we are already in the process of doing, and they buy 3%, the supply of Yam starts to disappear pretty quickly if it's not going up in value. So, there's definitely a huge value add that, you might not directly see, but you will indirectly see as a Yam holder. Any other questions? All right, moving on. Jim, would you like to go over any updates on the Umbrella Protocol? Nonstop Theo couldn't make it today, so Jim and I are kind of taking over.
Yeah, thanks, Bettis. Hey, that's exciting news too on with the Sushi Dow House. That's really cool potential there. Okay, well, yeah, I wanted to start off by talking about Umbrella. We had a meeting today, and just like temperature check is like, wow, it's we're really making progress right now with Umbrella. I mean, things are really moving. And what we meaning Bruce and myself, Bite Rose, Bloku, and let's see, was there anybody else in that meeting? I think that's it. We were talking, and Trent, sorry, and Trent. So we basically talked about the process by which we move forward from here, and I'll get into the details on that in a second. Bloku has presented a interface designs, UI, that are just knockout killer good. Just super excited to share that with everybody, but it's just the first phase. They're based off of the wireframes, and we're going back and checking and making sure the wireframes are going to include all of the important functionality. And then the basic process is to launch in a test net after we do good internal testing. Recommended a great idea of developing out a set of user flows, end-to-end user flows for different actor types, and testing against that. Once that's tested up well, we put it into the testnet mode. We'll have a strategy around that. while it's in testnet, we'll be in some learning modalities, and then we'll be applying the learnings as well as during that time developing strategies for exactly who we target, how we position the product, and how we get it adopted into the marketplace and grow it. So there was some just fantastic input from both Bloco and Byte Rose in terms of how to do what I just spoke about from their perspective, great insights. And at this point, we are, I would say, Houston is working, and the shuttle is being pulled out of the hangar, and we're getting ready to get it over to the launch pad. It's going to take a while, but the main thing that I wanted to emphasize here is that this process and the consensus around it in the meeting today is about developing really good practices for bringing Umbrella to market and also managing expectations. So it's important that we, and this is a to-do item, is that we communicate very clearly to the community at large about what the plan is and what the process is, so that everybody understands that Umbrella isn't launching tomorrow as a full-fledged product, but it's got a process that's fully underway, and we're driving towards that. And we don't plan on launching it half-assed, so to speak. We're going to really get our act together so that we can address the market conditions as they are and the competitive arena. So cool stuff. Teams coming together on that. Transition. Oh, any questions on that?
Let me go ahead, Chris.
Forgive the baby toys in the background, but one thing with Umbrella, especially that can't be overemphasized, is that it's a protection protocol. So if we are rushing and just, got to get it out, but like then when we ship it, it's broken or, it has like a fatal bug or, obviously things will get, like there will probably be things that like, minor things that have to get tweaked and dialed in and all of that stuff, after launch as we, see how the market responds to it. But the last thing you want to do is ship a protection protocol that's broken, right? That, I mean, if you do that, it's dead in the water immediately. So that's like very much top of mind for us. Like we want to make sure that we get it right when we release it versus get it very, very wrong, if that makes sense.
Well, to add on to Chris's, we definitely want to make sure that we do it right. And a big piece of that is considering the market conditions. So some of you guys are pretty interested in getting Umbrella out as soon as possible, which we are as well. But we want to make sure that we're doing it properly, as Chris said. One of the cool things that we've kind of discovered recently is that the market shifts pretty quickly. Everybody was all about protection protocols, a month or two ago. Now today, it's like it's not as important. So it is very much, we want to figure out a product market fit that can grow Yam. And the thing that we've realized is that we can actually take this product and create essentially insurance, smart contract insurance as a service, which is a really unique idea. So imagine this. So you guys probably know Binance, the exchange, and they have this fund called the SAFU fund, which is essentially an insurance fund for hacks on their exchange, on their protocol. So they have this extra money set aside that allows them to make sure that, hey, in case anything does happen, we've got this kind of protection. And that's a great idea. Umbrella protocol, what we're thinking of doing and we're trying to strategize around is, hey, what if we took this smart contract protocol and offered it as a service to new protocols? So if you're a new protocol, you need insurance or you want insurance to allay the fears of some of your people, investors, or that want to buy your token or farm your token or whatever it may be. You can set aside, you can create an insurance pool with our contracts, with our with our service that protects, that's specifically designed for your protocol, and you can incentivize it. So number one, we wouldn't need to incentivize it. We'd actually just provide the service. We might be the arbiter, we get the arbiter fees. There might be a setup fee for them, similar to DAO-House. So there are ideas like this that are kind of in the works as we kind of as we figure out the market conditions. It's not the same market as it was two months ago. It might be different 2 months later. But at the same time, we are actively looking at it. We are actively solving some of these problems. And one of the other big problems is fees. Okay, if you wanted to buy $20 or $100 worth of protection for your farming, that you're farming maybe $10,000 worth of incentive farming, and you want to buy, and it costs $100 for this protection, but the ETH transaction fee costs you $200. Doesn't make sense, right? So, approaching businesses to have their own protection pools might be a solution. So, for example, we ask new protocol A, say, hey, why don't you buy insurance for your whole protocol? So you want to buy, why don't you buy it for your users? And then you basically just take some of the potential profits that they're making from their incentive, their yield farming or whatever. But it allows you to protect your own users. So there are ideas like that. We'll solidify them. We'll get back to you with the strategy around them. And as Jim said, the whole team's working on it. We're not just forgetting all the deadlines. We definitely know about them, and they're in progress. Anything anybody like to add? All right, perfect. So media marketing.
That was a
Jim,
good,
go ahead.
Yeah, very good segue actually, Fedis, because you were talking about product integration, inter-product integration between YAM products, essentially, potentially. And that is that the insurance aspect can be kind of maybe another module for the DAO-House suite. And or at least within the same type of protocol to protocol services. And this is a very interesting market to be in, especially with the development of DeFi at this point. Well, moving on, and the segue is into DAO-House. And so what we're doing now is, of course, the sales cycle and the sales process is not one that is driven by outbound marketing, advertising, for instance. It's more of a backdoor sales approach, a door-to-door sales approach, so to speak. So basically, it's like a pitch deck and a personal relationship that gets built. Now, we will be supporting that with Medium articles and whatnot, but generally, it's a different approach. And where DAO-House is now is it's a cooked product. It's launched, it's got product market fit. Those are all awesome things. Now we're saying, well, what can we do with it? And having it interrelate in various ways with the other YAM products, both Umbrella and potentially Degenerative, the synthetics. This is very fertile ground that we're planning to explore. And what that does is it creates more of a brand story around YAM itself and its products, strengthens the brand, strengthens the story, and strengthens the integrity of the reason for having these different products. So, so there's a lot in that, but basically one idea around DAO-House right now is, because DAO-House is very uniquely doing what it's doing, is to run some marketing that basically attempts to capture or own the category of this insurance as a service, and potentially some of the other service factors that can go along to support it. So yeah, that's it for me. And then I'm going to pass the baton over to Bruce.
Hey, thank you, Jim. Very well said. On Degen V2, we've been workshopping our bigger picture launch strategy over this past week. We have such a beautiful and exciting web UI that we're so excited to share. How do we shape now? How do we build around that with our products and brand, and tell this degenerative finance story in the most powerful way possible? Some questions we've been asking ourselves as how do we emerge as the premier destination for UMA Synthetics? Which products can help build this brand, and what launch schedule can best generate like hype and excitement? And how do we tell the story of all the new products we have planned down the pipeline in a way that is clear and exciting for our community? And all these questions are we're asking this because we want to build a product that is like one, easy to use, fun to use, and has a great user base, and two, gain UMA rewards for our treasury and position ourselves as like ideally a market leader in the DeFi synthetic space. We can't share too much details yet on what we're working on, but me personally, what I'm very excited about DGen V2 is how the products we're launching with will highlight and focus on the YAM token itself. We're working on something that I think will bring a lot of versatility to YAM, and our marketing efforts will definitely highlight that. It will be a campaign focused on YAM, focused on our token, our story, and our community.
Yeah, one other thing I just wanted to pitch in here. We've covered the different products that we have. I touched on the bigger YAM brand and story, but it's worth noting that there's actually a lot of thrust going into developing the brand messaging, the brand identity, and all the aspects that go around establishing the YAM brand as like taking it to the next level. We have a secret weapon. That weapon's called Tom, and we're looking forward to what Tom is starting the process now and going to be working through with us for the next several weeks. So exciting things coming there. Forthcoming meetings will, I'm sure, include that as well.
And we also have another secret weapon, Will, who is brainstorming so many great community engagement efforts. Will, do you want to share any of your insight?
Yeah, thanks for that. So there's a couple of things that is going to happen in the next few days. And one I think is we should be really great to get more and more community feedback. So putting out a user survey to get everyone's thoughts on everything from product to how we communicate to Discord itself. So there might be a few changes in the Discord server too. Maybe there'll be some more interactive things. Maybe a couple of condensing of channels to make things a bit simpler and to kind of focus the community effort. So if everyone wants to head over to Discord, I'm going to be there. All the guys, everyone's there. It could be a really good opportunity to have a more engaging community in the Discord channel. And of course, we have the newsletter coming out again. I hope everyone enjoyed last week's edition. I'm going to keep building on that. If anyone has any feedback, be sure to send me a message. But basically, yeah, keep on growing the community. Got some incredible things going on here. So let's all celebrate it together and keep cracking on.
Yeah, thank you everyone for the input. There's definitely quite a few new team members that have some extensive backgrounds in a number of different areas that we're improving upon. So it's really kind of all directions, all hands growth, and you'll be seeing the fruits of a lot of that shortly. So as we do this every week, we'll update you guys. And if there's any questions, anybody on the call would like to ask questions or introduce themselves, be happy to hear from you. Any other comments from the team? Great. So
Hopefully that
as you know,
our secret weapons won't be secret if we keep telling our secrets
Hey, we've got new secrets. We're
true.
always working on new things. So if you've been listening to this call for a couple of weeks now, you'll notice the slow progression of things that basically all point to YAM, the YAM token. So all the products have some sort of way that leads back. All roads lead to YAM. So you should be excited. We definitely are. So you definitely will be hearing more about it shortly. And every week, next week, we're starting at 5 p.m. UTC. Just set it on your calendars. We'll ping it out, but it is earlier than usual. Hopefully we'll keep it at 5 p.m. UTC on a weekly basis. But the time changes, the daylight savings always kind of messes with everybody. Any other comments from anybody in the crowd?
Yeah, hey, this is Tom. Just so it doesn't sound like weird and cryptic, I guess just to put it together for the community, what we're trying to do is, I guess, Will is the expert in communication strategy for sure out to the community, and then what I'm focusing on is really making sure that internally we're all moving in the same direction, right? So then we'll take that kind of my internal side, and then Will translate that out to the community so that everyone on the inside is moving in the same direction and always coordinated. And then Will, like I said, he's a borderline savant, just being able to distill, the clear message of what's going on to the community, so that there's, we kind of battle this perception that, why are we building slow? Why isn't this done yet? The team is working their ass off around the clock, and it's really just a question of, how do we make sure that the community hears that? That's that's Will's expertise. So that's a high level what we've got going on. All on trend of coordinated messaging about how YAM gets the value to the investor.
Kind words there, Tom, and I think your expertise has been clearly noticed as well. I would say my initial impressions of spending lots and lots of time with the YAM team and looking closely at everything going on, it's just blowing my mind. So very, very positive for what's coming in the next few weeks, and looking forward to putting in more and more out in the community.
Yeah, we have a lot of things going on, so stay tuned. Stay in our Discord, ask questions, and we'll be updating you as soon as we are able. Thank you guys, everybody, for your time. Unless there are any other comments or questions, we'll wrap it up for this evening.
Hey, thank you guys. This is James here. Been at my other job, busy at my other job right now, so I was listening in, but definitely looking to get more involved. Look to KW and Bruce and try and get more involved with the content creation here in the next week or so. Again, thanks for the meeting.
Thank you, James. Happy to have you. We'll be talking soon. All right, that wraps it up for our weekly call. We'll see you again next week, 5 p.m. UTC. Thank you all for spending your time with us. Have a good day.